What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Brian with Living Jeeping and Adventuring. Today, let's talk about diff covers. I'm going to be installing front and rear diff covers on a Ford Dana 60 and a Ford Sterling 10.5. Not on an F250, not on an F350. We're going on something a little bit different. Let's go check it out. Alright, so this is what we're doing. We've got diff covers from Spelab. Now this is a company that has been helping me out with my F250, getting some work done to it, getting it ready for wheeling season. Going to be doing a lot of hauling, a lot of towing, different stuff. So they're helping me out with that, but they came through with these diff covers for another project. What is it, you might be asking? Well, it is my 2005 Jeep Liberty rock crawler. So me and the guys from Spelab have been kind of talking back and forth about these diff covers, and normally on a rock crawler, something that's going to be bashed around on rocks and stuff, normally you want something that's pretty stout. Normally you go with steel, but we were talking and we decided to go ahead and try these diff covers out on a rock crawler just to see how much abuse they can take. Are they going to hold up? We don't know. That's what we're going to find out. But first, we got to get these bad boys installed. So let's get going. All right. So one of the very first things you need to do is raise your vehicle up. Give yourself a little bit more room to work. You don't have to, but I'm going to. But it also has airbags on it, so it's a little bit easier. Alright, now I got a little more headroom. Let's dive on in there. Alright, now that you got your vehicle raised up, go ahead and get you a drain pan, stick underneath of it, and take all your diff cover bolts out. Now once you get them all loose, or all out of there, with the exception of one, you'll pop this cover off and usually fluid will drain out. But this rear end's been drained already. It's been in and out of this vehicle about a dozen times. So, once you get your cover off, put all your bolts in there, and start the cleaning process. The method of cleaning that I prefer is, since I have an air compressor, I'm using a little 2-inch disc on a DA. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and clean all the old gasket off, rust and everything else, all the debris. Get all it cleaned off there and get it ready for the new gasket. Alright, once you got all your gasket and everything cleaned off your surface, go ahead and get you some brake cleaner and try and get all the dust and everything out. That way whenever you go fill it up with fluid, it's not contaminated. Alright, look at the looks like. Put a towel in there, soak up the rest of that fluid. Get it nice and clean. Wipe it all down. And we're ready for the gasket. Alright, now you got everything nice and clean. Go ahead and get your bolt bag that came with the cover. Go ahead and get all your bolts out. Now they are an Allen key. So find you an Allen key that fits. In this case it is a 6mm. Fits in there pretty good. Go ahead and line up your gasket on the diff cover. And raise it up into place. Once you get your first bolt started, it'll get a little bit easier. There we go. Got one started. Go on to the next. We'll get all these put in, and we'll run them down and then torque them down. Sometimes the gasket can be a little pain in the butt to get lined up in there, but it'll go. There we go. Get all these bolts hand tight, and we'll be right back. Alright, we'll go through and run all these up. Get off there. Alright, once they're all snug down, I would double check your torque, but I checked it on this one and it torques down to 33 foot-pounds. Set this for 33 and torque them all down. There you go, there's one. There's two. Let's get these last few done. Alright guys, that's it. That's all there is to it, to these diff covers. Super simple, they look good. I'm really hoping they turn out to be pretty strong. It is cast out of one solid piece of built aluminum, so should be pretty stout. We'll see once I start wheeling this thing and bash it around on rocks. But let's take a minute here and talk about some of the key features of the Spelab diff covers. So for starters, you can already see it's got a sight glass right here. That's to tell your fluid level. I think that's a pretty cool feature. I don't know how well that's going to hold up to off-roading, but hopefully it holds up okay. Now it is removable, so if something happens to it, I can probably replace it or just plug it off. But either way, it's a pretty cool feature. You can tell your fluid level, and you can also see if it's dirty or if there's water in it, if it looks real milky, or if it looks like good clean differential. Next, the drain plug is all the way down here at the bottom. It is at the very, very bottom. So whenever you go to do a fluid change, you pop this out, all your fluid drains out, pop that back in, and you're good to go. Now, is that a good thing for rock crawling or a bad thing for rock crawling? It does hang down, so I'm kind of nervous that it's going to get beat off and broken, and hopefully it doesn't leak any fluid when it does that. But we'll see. You know, we're both interested, Spelab and myself are both interested in seeing how well these things hold up. So the next thing is the fill plug is all the way at the top up here, so it's nice and easy to get fluid into it. You don't have to worry about it being on the front. It is on the top, so if you wanted to fill this thing up with more fluid than it needs, you know, you can. What else about this thing? Though the way these are designed on the inside, it's not like a flat cover. it's got vents and everything in it, so whenever your gears are spinning, it's throwing that fluid into those vents and pushing that fluid all the way up top and over to the pinion. So it cycles the oil in there very, very well. Plus, they look cool. It's a pretty good looking cover. All right, so the last and most important thing about installing your differential covers is do not forget to put fluid back in it. If you don't do that, you're going to tear your whole rear end up and it's just going to be a bad day. So there you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. Super simple. Spelab did a good job on designing these things. So big shout out to them. Thanks for coming through with some differential covers for this Jeep. Y'all are awesome. Everyone watching is awesome. Everyone that supports my channel is awesome. Thank you guys. And I hope this video helped. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you next time.